First, in respect of printing and stationery, I would like to inform the Honorable Speaker that amge printing press ahate. When we talk about ignorance of law is not an excuse. म्हणल्यार आमकां कायद्याचे बुक्स पब्लिकेशन्स मेळपा जाय आनी आमकां मेळना जाल्यार मागीर तुमी सांगूं जायना तो कायदो आहा बुकार इंटरनेटाचेर आसा आनी म्हूण तूं कबूल हातूंत तुका फायन मारपाक वा तुका जेलीक घालपाक. I believe that when the government is having these publications, we should not make them expensive. Huंय गेले जाल्यार government publications are cheap. आमगे official gazette म्हारग आसा. Any law book तुवें काडले जाल्यार मागले जाल्यार if it's 200 pages 200 rupees तशें करून चार्ज करता थोडे पाटी 300 700 आनी पयले सदां सवाय आसताले. I think if the government wants to help the people so as to know the law and to make sure they follow the law, then I think that they can make sure that the prices are reduced. And number two, in the printing press, tu gele जाल्यार तूं एक कायद्याचें book मागल्यार पोन्ना मेळटा, updated मेळना. They tell you look at the internet. Everybody can't be internet savvy. आनी ते update केलें ना जाल्यार on the internet you don't get the updated copies of these materials. So that is also one thing which I think is a failure on the part of the government not to provide these updated publications in the government printing press. आमी demand काडलेलो last time and I had specifically requested the government to एक मोडगांव साउथ गोवान एक provision करपा एक printing pressaचे outlet दिवपा. गायलो तो print. म्हूण आतां म्हाका आदोगाद सांगतात मोडगांवचे की ते printing pressa फकत gazette आसतात आनी updated booksूय ना तेंकोडे. So that is another thing which I feel there's a failure on the part of the government not to make provision for giving these outlets with updated publications. As far as tourism demand is concerned, पयले उलोवपा सोदता आमचे एक पोंबुरपा स्प्रिंग आसा. पोंबुरपा स्प्रिंग सामको पिड्यार जालो आहा ते सगळे टायल्स आहात ते सकला हालतात लोक पडटलो थिंगा. The tiles on the side are also cracked and broken. The toilets are not functional. There is no water in the toilet. There is no water in the changing rooms. Honorable Minister, who has a very close affinity with Pomburpa and his area, he knows a lot of people. He came with high hopes and expectations. I invited him. Gelte Orsar, 15th May he had visited and he gave very good directions for upgrading and for renovation of this Pomburpa spring. पूण कितें जालें थिंगा कांय जालें ना उपरांत. It is very sad and shameful that the department has not been able to proceed in doing any work on the Pomburpa spring. हांव दाखयता तुका, this is when Honorable Minister had come and he even said that he is exploring possibilities of expanding tourism activities, initiated inspection of Pomburpa spring along with me, Pomburpa Panchayat members and government officials. But unfortunately, I am magi February muina in Salatanna. He told me I am doing this on the Swadesh Darshan project and we accepted this. 2024 February, I am prashna mandlo inga. Unstarred LAQ number 39. And Tinga Mak answer the I had asked status of the proposal for repair beautify Pomburpa spring in Aldana constituency and status thereof. Answer Dila Maka, sir, the work of beautification of Pomburpa spring is being undertaken under Swadesh Darshan scheme 2.0. So I am Manun Gele, Salu aha, Kitle Patia minister paso insalla, Munta Kota is being done. Ani I website a chikal podoila. कि 1st September 2029 एक consultancy monitoring committee meeting आशिल्ले chaired by the director of tourism in the Madhe boardroom आणि थिंगा एक मिटिंगाचे
date
1st September 2029 2023 1st September 2023 and in that it is written overall master plan projects. Under 6, Ting Mulla, Project 6, suggested inclusions by the state, Pomburpa Spring Precinct. So it is there. But after that, I am Podoila that another meeting took place, second consultancy meeting, which was on 29/11/2023. Ejer Kaina. There was no discussion, they didn't take it up. Ani Fudan Kai Zalna. After this, in Zatri Magi, I am Podoile, plans kelo hat for forwarding that Salvador the Moon walks and Ikit Korpa. I looked at everything on the internet. It also refers to Ikoshi Creek, Asatinga. But Ikoshi also falls part of it in my constituency. We have no knowledge of it. Saloy Panchayat hai, Salvador the Moon Panchayat, त्यांका एक नोटीस दिली की तांणी फाल्यां पोराक मिटींग आसा आनी आमगे सरपंचाक कोणें एक फोटो धाडून पोंबुर्पा पंचायती सरपंचाक फोटो धाडला. Not even a letter, not even an invitation. If it is affecting our constituency, I think the minimum decency is to invite our sarpanch and or maybe the panchayat members for a discussion, for them to know what is the project. If it stops only at the border and doesn't go further, I wonder how the project can be a success, because if you're running along the creek, it can't stop at this place and say, okay, moge boundary cover zali, fure also zaina. It won't work. And I looked at the plan on your website. I was looking at it because it requires demolition of houses and then acquisition of land and so many things. Still, you can't do this without having people's confidence. But why I want to highlight fokot kolwa upgradation under this asa and porwari. Ani hunche na tinga. Bola Pomrupa Singh spring aate mele.
So it's circuit. Porwari up to Harwane. The whole line, including yours.
But then that is
what I'll explain to you.
So if you make that assurance, so we can work in a time frame. Now, when I ask the question this time, this session, what is the time frame, the status and the proposal to renovate, repair, beautify Pomburpa Spring in Aldona constituency as per Swadesh Darshan 2.0 scheme? You have said Swadesh Darshan. Now this was given, answer is given on 17 July. Maka answer dila is under consideration. I wanted to know the status. Under consideration. And magi kite gaila, work will be initiated subject to government approval and availability of funds. Mula kawa project. Availability of funds mula utor mula kain dashna. So I want specific time frame. It's not like this, which is neither here nor there, and just keeping us on guess. I also called for a meeting. A code of conduct ashilo tenna, because lokacho problem ashilo, bathroom non-functional, ani light na, children's play space taha te sogle modlo ha, ani lok injured zalo tinga. I rokde officer apoile, ani I sangla em podo emon. Ami sogle inspection kele with panchayat members in the month of May, end of May. Ani they took note of it. Ani I think sangla. Ole renovation kon naka. Fokot goroz hate, barik hate mache kor. Kita loka eindi boreko na nosdi. Kottet mulle. Kain kelna light pasun on zaina rata. Ani at joke kit zala side in spring aha inga zori inga ha side in pausacho udo eta to zori zaltinga. Ani te loss data. Lokan video kadla dakopa amche ours is in a bad condition, and that is the spring over there. So I think that Honorable Minister needs to look into this quickly. Now there is another major issue relating to homestay policy and bed and breakfast. Let me say to the Honorable Speaker that intention may have been good, but I think the government is being misled, and I think there is a big scam in this. And why I will say this? To me, on your website, you all have put out the entire scheme, which I believe the entire scheme, on the website. On the website, paragraph 4 ends with 4.3. Now I'm just going to pass this out so that you will understand what I'm talking. One for Speaker, one for Minister, one for CM. I'll just read, so you'll have this in the meantime. One for Honorable Speaker. This is now screenshot I've taken, because if you print, it comes like this. You have to print like this with legal size paper. If you look at 4, it goes 4.1, 4.2, and can you see 4.3? Down. Policy is valid for 5 years from date of notification Gazette, can be further extended. And please turn over to allow the screenshot to understand that after 4.3 is immediately 5. Can you see that? But your Gazette shows 4.4, 4.5 and 4.6. That means there is something else. And why is that something else? That is the key of what I call the fraud. And why I call it a fraud. Homestay mulole, muge gor asa, amunge room asat. And that's what you explain. Owner must stay in that premises, and he provides some rooms for people to stay. He can earn. That's a beautiful concept. When inga ek definition gaila promoter mon pasan, and you're allowing promoter to come on the scene. Now, promoter is any individual who is duly authorized to act on behalf of the owner through a valid power of attorney. The Ejer, in this, when you have a promoter, the promoter also can establish a B&B. To London na bostolo, to inga rauna, and to B&B ko tolo inga. Number 2, commercial entities. Tumge Airbnb munasa ek. In Airbnb is nothing but a commercial venture. Kon power of attorney rautolo goran? They are operating from outside Goa, running units. And why do I say that here there is a scam? Oh, just another 2 minutes. Why do I say there is a scam? Please understand this. I'll just pass this to the Honorable Minister and the Honorable Speaker. Why do I say Ingasa? Because you look at this. In 16 December 2022, Tourism Department enters into an agreement with Airbnb. And then 14 December 2023, this Gazette comes with this scheme. Now, when you have already entered into it, naturally you need to accommodate Airbnb. Airbnb is not a owner who is running his house. Airbnb is simply a commercial entity which is running it. And why do I say this is a scam? The Tourism Department on its website has got this Goa Homestay Hosting Handbook. And this hosting handbook, I will just pass this on. Em podo tumi. On page 16, why does a government this have to promote just one entity, and that a commercial entity? Listing on Airbnb mullaha. Then please look, what is Airbnb? Why list on Airbnb? How to list your space on Airbnb? How to use Airbnb app? Yani kite? Mulla, you are promoting a commercial venture through the tourism department. Gawan gel jalyar, te lokache, gorib lokache, nale konage olle gora haten, te loka ruman dota. Tum kugras astolo, Honorable Speaker, ami biche roitatana, nustekar astale. Tode beach nustekaranche goran rautale, ruman rautale. That is the concept of a homestay. Tenka facility diupa, tenka, and tenka zodpa meta, off season, in season. Pasun टुरिस्ट येताले बरे कोण रावताले थोडे पाटी आमी वयताले तेंका तेंगे घरा रावपाक फॅमिली वयता तेन्ना बरे कोण रावताले येताले पूण आयज कितें जालां सगळें कमर्शियल जालें Airbnb आनी हे टॅक्स ते टॅक्स सगळे लागतात आनी एक रुमाचे इतली म्हारग जाता एंड वाय शूड टुरिजम डिपार्टमेंट डू दीस it may have escaped your attention, but this is not correct. This is complete misleading of the government, and I think the government is falling into a situation where this Airbnb is taking over. and running riot to have total profits at the cost of the government of Goa. Now, few things I will just talk about. Honorable Speaker, आमचे mining bond केले तेन्ना 2012 by the BJP government, आमचे कितें जालें? We had to fall back on tourism. Tourism was already declared an industry, and tourism industry is the only golden goose today आमकां. Tourism industry मेले जाल्यार, tourism industry गायले जाल्यार, आमचे सगळें काबार जातलें हिंगा. Outside Goa destination आहात ते सवाय ऑफर करतात. Outside India, in the Far East, they are offering cheaper destinations, very welcoming way of inviting guests. आणि आमगे competition मागे फकत नाक आसलो ते लोक येतात आमगे. आणि what type of quality tourists we had, they are decreasing, and we are not having anything. So I think that the government of Goa, the international tour केलो ते. I say that these international tours which have been done are total waste of money. And why I say total waste of money? Kon gelte tourak, I asked the Honorable Minister to kindly justify how, in this answer which was given to us, LAQ 3B, which was on start question, 17/7/2024, I have no problem when an Honorable Minister goes for any international tour. No problem now. But when your OSD is taking a tour, OSD hotenna, and bill atte 1 crore 4 lakhs without minister, kon minister barabar gel zalyar, I think this needs to be inquired, because OSD's appointment is co-terminus with the minister. Minister gel zalyar, change zalyar, he goes to a different ministry, or he is out. If an official of the government goes, there's continuity. There is a report, there's a follow-up, there's an action. But if you bring an OSD who's just visiting on these jaunts, and I will just show, there was ITB Berlin, 7 May to March 23. Sean Mendes is gone. 1 crore 4 lakhs 5,940. Then, I'm talking only on when he has gone without minister. Road show in Frankfurt, Zurich, Vienna and Paris, 18/4/2023 to 26/4/2023, 1 crore 90 lakhs. Sean Mendes, OSD to Tourism Minister. Then, Eshkon oitat. And the last thing I want to point out is when we asked for the data of the tourist arrivals, amge 2023 ache answer dile that we don't have this data because for whatever reason is not available. Country-wise data for 2023 is not available. I want to ask the Honorable Minister, you have come out with a notification of 5th April 2021, which provides for an online submission of statistics pro forma data as per Form 11, where you have put categories of hotels, A, B, C, D, and tu sangta tenka sogle te form boratmun online. You have this online which you are collecting the data. Tumi pasun fee tenge kattat, processing fee te renew korpa, statistics pro forma base fees ahatinga, magi GST, state and central laitat tumi. So you have a statistics pro forma base fee which you are collecting from them. You are having online data. And then you are charging them. You also have taken rules. Please understand this to me. Draft rules, I don't know if it's finalized. I could not find it on the net. 29 December 2022 rules. Same thing about these categories. 2021 notification, 2022 is the rules. But still you don't have the data. How is the department functioning if you're getting online answers and you still can't compile this on a click of a button? Online metle. If it is manual, I can understand feeding. So why is this system not working? What is going wrong? And the last thing, I have an appeal to the government. Please ensure that the beaches are clean because garbage atana and kenna beacher gelya bore tenka endi gade ashe kite di kitya te poteche shack blue poteche shack gail zale and te tarpaulin is gail zale bore disna kenna vastu ani photo maran so in retrospect kite this looks like a slum. We don't like Goa to look like that because we have just not domestic tourists, we have international tourists and we want quality tourists. We don't want the riffraff coming. And this last thing I'm talking about is these festivals. I believe that amche festival hate, whether it's San Juan or any festival, It is a local festival, community festival. तुक जाय जाल्यार तूं sponsor कर. Don't take over the festival and run a festival. हो सांज जो फेस्टिवल ओल्ड गोवा केलो तो कितले पयशे मोडले आनी आमकां व्हिडिओ पळयले कोण नाशिल्लो पुलीस आशिल्ले आनी ते टुरिजम डिपार्टमेंट ऑफिसर आशिल्ले लॉस जाता कित्याक कोटेनी मोडटा तूं फेस्टिवल चलोवपा सोदता जाल्यार तूं चिंत तुगे ऑफिसरान प्रेपरेशन करूंक पडटलें एक टीम धरूंक पडटलें सोमून पयलीं करूंक जाय लास्ट मिनट केलें जाल्यार कांय जायना आनी लास्ट मिनट पयशे वाडटात आर्टिस्ट मेळनात वेन्यू मेळनात आनी सगळें म्हारग जाता मागीर लास्ट मिनट टेंडर काडपाक शॉर्ट टेंडर बेश्टे इन्विटेशन नॉमिनेशन मागीर पयशे भरपूर जातात वी कॅन स्पेंड दॅट मनी प्रॉपरली and we can do real infrastructure for Goa or for benefits of other people.
Yes.
Don't take over. And my respectful submission is that government should look into all these things.
Yes, Shrimati Jennifer Monserrat.
Speaker, sir, I rise to support the demands and oppose the cut motions placed for today. Speaker, sir, I want to bring to the notice of the Honourable Minister for Tourism about the challenges that I'm facing in my constituency in regard to Donapaula Jetty. First would be the kiosks that were promised by the Honourable Minister and by the department to the vendors in Donapaul. I would like to